Hello there, Sagittarius, and welcome to your monthly reading. Great to see you again. This is for the month of October, and a reminder, if you've not seen this before, that you can use this for your sun, your rising, and your moon. Don't worry if you don't know all three, just go ahead and use your birth sign and that'll be enough. Now, right at the precipice of a little bit of exciting news, so I want to share that with everyone this month. Thanks to all of your support, I'm nearly at 100,000 subscribers, which that's amazing to me, and I just wanted to say thank you so much. And as a way to give back to all of you, I'm going to do a live feed once I've hit that milestone. So I don't know when that's going to happen. It's probably sometime over the next 1 to 3 months, depending on activity here. But the sooner we get to that milestone, the sooner that I do something live. I'm hoping to do a little bit of Q&A, and then maybe I'll do some sort of a meditation or something else. We'll see. Please keep an eye on this channel for more information. I'll definitely keep you posted, okay? Now, if you would like to give back, if you're a longtime viewer and you just want to say thanks for videos like this, I'm going to put a little information here at the beginning and I'll talk about it again at the end. You can absolutely join me on Patreon. That's the easiest way. And you can do $1 a month, and that supports all 12 videos plus anything else that I do in the way of meditations, etc. Or if you just want to give a one-time donation, you can do that as well. So here's all of the info, and it's also right below the video. You'll see 3 links. It'll be the second link. So thank you so much in advance for anyone that chooses to do that, and also for anyone that wants to share the video, since I'm trying to hit that 100,000. So thank you. Let's go ahead now and talk about what's coming through for your sign this month. If you're brand new, let me just run you through how this is organized. I start off with channeled information, then I pull a Celtic cross, then I expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. For the channeled information, basically what I do is I select a deck of cards for each sign, then I meditate over that sign. When I was doing that for you, I got a combination of images and words. The images in my head were those of what reminded me of like a long distance runner back in school. And the key word that I got with this was endurance, and then also pacing. And so what you're gonna wanna pay special attention to this month is how far you push yourself, how much you give of yourself, and when you decide to do this. If I were to kind of pull a card from tarot and relate it to this image, it would probably be the 6 of Pentacles, which is all about choices. It's one where you almost have enough, and if you plan right, you might, but it requires really good use of time and energy, a lot of planning and a lot of decision making. And I think that's what this month is going to entail for you. But ultimately, just like with the 6 of Pentacles, it equals success when you basically embrace that. So I think you can do that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the cards now and see what additional insights they yield in respect to this. Just a quick note that I remain quiet during this part because, just like you, I want to see what's coming through, look at the positions, etc. I'll join you again after the Celtic cross has been pulled. So let's pause now and go ahead and see what's coming through for your sign this month, Sagittarius. In addition to the Celtic cross, I add one extra card. For me, this is called the Catalyst, and the Catalyst is a way to see an overarching theme to the month, and it also helps you really embrace the positive aspects and avoid any of the challenges that might be coming through. So your Catalyst this month is the Voyage, which I really think speaks volumes to the channeled information that I received, which is it's about that journey to get where you want to be. It's not necessarily so much about the destination. And this month, you're going to be moving towards something. You may not actually see it to fruition until next month, but it's every single day, every piece of that journey that's going to matter the most. So we're going to talk about that today and hopefully give you some insights on how to get there. For those of you that may not know exactly if that's on the horizon, what this also shows is the possibility to expand, knowledge expansion, goal expansion, and there could be something or someone that's coming in from afar. This is sort of a different version of the world, but it's showing external influences that are going to play a part in your life. So if you don't feel like you're taking that journey, someone might be taking that journey towards you, and that could be some sort of a happy reunion, or it could be something else. So let's take a look at all of the cards, and they're going to give us some additional insight, and as appropriate, I'll tie them back to either the channeled information or that Catalyst card that we were just looking at. So you have a really nice central card this month. Queen of Wands, which is speaking to things that you already do really well. Management, ideation, development, all of these things are really, really good. And it's also speaking to not just the encouragement, but the recommendation that you really take ownership over all things this month. This is the quintessential management card without getting too bossy. Sort of like the perfect project management card that I'd want to pull up if you're looking at launching something or figuring out if you can handle what's in front of you. So the answer is yes, and you're going to do great with that. The only thing that does look like it's a little tight this month is your resources, because tempering that is either your time, your energy, or your money. We have the Four of Coins on top of it. For some of you, it could just be an extension of your self-confidence. So if you're feeling a little bit shy or uncertain, I don't really think you need to be, since your central card was showing, great capability, great understanding, great mastery. So just try to trust yourself and remember what I was saying about pacing and endurance, and also like the Six of Pentacles, which is just make good choices. You should be able to stretch a dime or stretch your resources to meet all the ends. But I will say this, try not to take any loans. Don't go into debt this month. You want to work with what's existing. I say that because that card in the near future is touching the Devil reversed. That is showing that there are some hard limits to what you can push when it comes to budget and resources. So do observe those, but see if there isn't some choices that you can make maybe in other areas that will allow for reallocation of time and energy or money. All right, let's look at your deep past to see what's influencing this month. We have the Seven of Swords. And you know what? This card is really emphasizing the escape factor of it, but there's also sort of this underlying theme of things being done covertly or sort of unawares to other people sometimes. So what you want to be careful of in your circle of friends, in your business interactions, et cetera, is to make sure that everything is spelled out and transparent, and that if anything is being done, or if you catch someone doing something that they shouldn't be doing, you want to do a really, I would say, fast and clear course correction for that. Don't wait, don't assume that it will get better. It's so much better to simply come out and say, I think we have a misunderstanding. This is what was expected. This is what was done. Let's get back on track. People are going to respect you more. You'll have that management hat that you're wearing. And again, it doesn't matter if you are a manager, a mom, a student, or retired. This is talking about controlling issues and elements in your life. So if people around you are taking advantage of you or aren't listening to you, this is your chance to sort of pull them in and say, no, you know what, actually I have a say in this because of XYZ. Okay, so that's the important thing. Transparency, honesty, acting quickly when something isn't going the right way. Feels like you already know that, but if there's anything left over from the past that hasn't been dealt with, deal with it sooner than later so that you can start this month on the right note. Looking at recent past, this is probably going to be carrying into the first week. It looks like some of you may be ready for a vacation here. The Ten of Wands card comes when you feel like the intensity of responsibility. A lot of times it's when you're almost finished with something, but there's still a little bit left to do. It is showing that completion is within reach. It's not like the Nine of Wands. I think a lot of you are nearly ready to let go of something or move on, which is great. But there's some limits. Again, maybe it's the money. Maybe you need to either raise some funds or make some money, or you've promised to do something. There's something holding you back from letting go and moving. I do feel like a move is for some of you, it's either imminent or on the horizon. And this could also be what the Voyage card is hinting at, which is how can you make that happen? Is it either an internal wish and desire and you're working to sort of help manifest that in your life, or could it be something that you're trying to open up? Either way, this month is pivotal in the eventual maturation or manifestation of that. Looking at your crowning card, I want to say that a lot of you have been putting in all of the energy, all of the effort, and definitely paying the dues that are necessary. The only thing that I see with this is that it might be hard to stay motivated, which, as I said earlier, I'm going to tie this back to some of the earlier messages. Your channeled information was all about the pacing and the endurance. Don't give up. This is really encouraging you to not give up, even if you're not getting the clear indicators that you want, and maybe not seeing the lighthouse on the beach as you're, kind of like rowing endlessly, but just know that it's in sight. And so don't give up on that. As I said, there are some limits for some of you this month. We have the Devil in reverse, which is actually a good position. It's in the near future. It shows me that you're going to have to probably deal with this mid-month. The second and third weeks, you're going to have some things that come to light. Now, with the Devil in reverse, what you can do with this is make some decisions to cut these distractions or these things that are weighing you down and release yourself onto something that is a better path, which is, I hope that's possible for you. Let's see what you can do. I'm going to actually take a look. I'm going to pull a clarifying card. I don't do that often, but I want to for this Devil card. So I want to say, what is the limit for you this month, and what is it that you can clear out? So let's see. We'll pull a clarifying card. And for you, it is about movement. It's the Wheel of Fortune. It was reversed, but when I look at this particular wheel, it also reminds me of the world. It has elements of the two cards. And so what I'm seeing here is necessary movement, necessary shifting that has to take place. If you're in a company or in an environment where there's a glass ceiling, where people won't let you get past a certain level, or they only see you in a certain light and you're ready to evolve into something more, this is showing that not only is it imminent, but it's necessary. And so even if you have to make a lateral move from one place to another at the same title, the same pay, whatever, that move is going to be essential to your health, your happiness, I would say your longevity. So I'm encouraging you to do it. There's a lot of support in a change of venue or a change of environment. That's going to really help motivate you, and I would say help infuse your energy system with something new. You know, we feed off of our environment. And I made a move this year, and I would say it was amazing what a difference I felt 1 month before and maybe 1 month after. It was completely different. So don't be afraid to make that move. I see that money is your limiting factor because we have the Wheel of Fortune. So you're going to have to work around the money. And for some of you, that's going to limit location. So you may have your heart set on maybe something in a city that you want to live, but you might have to look at alternative cities or go slightly outside into a suburban area. So I'm seeing that you're not going to necessarily get the first choice, but there are choices. So try to open your mind up a little bit to the other options out there and see what the universe can provide, rather than sort of shutting down and thinking it's either this or nothing. I think that there's a lot of opportunity if you remain open. Getting to that, as I'm looking at your ego card this month, a lot of strong energy here. We have a divine feminine card here, as illustrated by the Strength card. What can happen with the Strength card sometimes is stubbornness. If it's you being stubborn, this card is kind of encouraging you to open up a little bit. There may also be someone in your life, typically a woman, but not always, who is kind of overbearing. It could be a boss, it could be a relative, it could be a friend. You want to distance yourself from this person and try to get back to a place where you're in control or making the decisions, because I feel like that's causing interference. So if it's stubbornness, open up a little bit. If it's you trying to control everything and not letting anybody else get it in a word edgewise, you have to temper that as well. If you're kind of feeling that from someone else, separate yourself, assert your energy, and try to be the strong one there. As an aspect of your body, this is also saying take special care this month, especially for those of you that might be doing physical work, manual labor, or taking care of someone. If you're in a profession like nursing or elder care or anything like that, you want to be very careful this month, because you might throw out a muscle. You might just be feeling so tired that you could end up getting sick. So really be cognizant of your energy and the limits that are necessary to stay healthy, because as a caretaker, as you know, rule number 1 is to make sure that you stay healthy so that those that depend on you can count on you. As we look at your environment this month, we have the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups in reverse is a gentle reminder also to make sure that if you're not feeling yourself, if you need some support, some love, or just to slow down a little bit this month, that card is absolutely encouraging you to take care, to take the time for healing. Especially, like I said, those of you that heal, get that same healing back. So whether it's talking to a friend or taking care of yourself and getting a massage or just sitting in a warm bubble bath, whatever it takes, make sure that that's something that you're making time for. Because it does feel like both in your overall physical strength and emotional strength, it's taking a bit of a hit this month. And in order to have that endurance, you're going to have to get the rest and the care and the kindness that you deserve. Okay, as I'm looking in the opportunities area, which also encompasses fear and hopes, we have the High Priestess. She's reversed. This is also kind of connecting to that strength card. So for some of you, there may be someone in your life that is manipulating things a little bit, also connecting to the Devil card. So you want to be careful with alliances this month. And if there is somebody who is either revealed as sneaking around, saying something they shouldn't, whatever, again, the earlier you fix that, the better. And if you really just don't want to deal with it, it's time to cut that person from your life. And the Voyage card and the Ten of Wands are all showing that it's okay, it's healthy, it's advisable to release and to move on from that. Your final card is actually pretty good here. We have the Queen of Coins or the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. The reversal of this card is showing that by the end of the month, you're going to have hopefully the resources, but definitely the interest in personal development. I've been seeing a lot of Pentacles, either King or Queen cards reversed this month. And so this is a very introspective card when you decide to learn more about yourself or go back to school, or it's kind of like what you would see with the Eight of Pentacles. But I see in this one, it's really a spiritual journey for some of you. So you may decide to go deeper in something that just inspires you, whether it's reading, art, or deciding to just take time to meditate. I encourage that. I think that's going to be a good use of your time. There is one caveat with this, however. When you spend a lot of energy on yourself, and sometimes it feels good, you can kind of get used to it and get in the habit of just being with yourself. So with the Queen of Coins or the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the High Priestess reverse and the Strength card, all of your sort of energy on this side is reversed. I want you to make sure that you don't pull back from people in your life too much. It's going to be really important for you to make time for social interactions, for just kind of shaking things up a little bit, because too much time kind of spent in that hermit phase can be counterproductive at a certain point. So give and take, figure that out, what works for you, and I think you'll be off to a good start. Let's go ahead now and expand the forecast. I'm going to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. And after we've expanded the lens to include all four of those, we'll go back and revisit everything we talked about. Oftentimes I see new pieces of information after we've expanded it, and also it's a great way to kind of summarize and bring everything into a cohesive whole. So stick around until we get to that at the end. Let's start off with the health card. Health includes mind, body, and spirit, and really this can be any one of those areas, or it can kind of overlap. Let's give the cards a shuffle and see for you what the message is. Your health message this month is prayer. And I see this not just as praying, but meditation and also the power of positive thought. And I love this card because you'll see that there's lemons and then lemonade, and then you kind of see this beautiful aroma above, and it's a nice picture. So what you want to do is, obviously, anything that's going on, try to see this kind of like the Five of Cups card, but focusing on the cups that are upright rather than the ones that have spilled. Do something positive or constructive with what's in front of you this month, whether it's what's going on in your body, because I see some potential weakness, physical weakness. So you could decide, all right, this is a sign from the universe that it's okay. In fact, it's time for me to maybe start a new workout routine or a better diet or something like that, or get more sleep, turn off the TV, whatever it is. Take what could be sort of seen as a setback and think, I'm going to use this as a motivator. And that's really what the prayer card and the lemon and lemonade in that imagery is really saying, is that you can take anything and sort of view it through the lens of, what can I learn from this? How can I improve? And basically make it almost gratitude. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. And I think that's the key this month. So positive thought and moving it towards what you can learn, that's going to be really important. But it really has to go with motivation, positive thought, and not immediately going to the critical, if you understand what I'm saying. Let's go ahead now and take a look at wealth. Wealth isn't just money or jobs, it's also your relationship with your own self-confidence and how open you are to abundance and opportunity within your life. For wealth, your message this month is community. And so what we're seeing here, it's basically a different version of the Three of Cups, if you will. To not be afraid to step out. And I was saying that I saw a little bit of hermiting coming in. And in fact, when this card was pulled, it was reversed. And for me, the Three of Cups in reverse is one of my personal symbols for being a hermit, but sort of like a gentle hermit. And what it means is once you get out there, you sort of feel like, oh, okay, now I remember why I like hanging out with people again. So don't be afraid to hang out with an extrovert this month, or to say yes to invitations, because with this, it's in your wealth sector. You're going to possibly meet someone who might know of a job. You might make an alliance during one of these sort of important meetings outside of work, where then once you go back to work, you have a shortcut, you have a shorthand with this person, and that's going to help. It could also be sort of a networking event where you find someone that you want to hire. But long story short, the key to success right now is going to be relationships and situations that are taking place outside of the office. And also maybe some advice and insight with respect to new investments or new money ideas might come from your friends and family. So open up to the community, have some fun, get out a little bit more. It's going to help you not just on a personal level, but it might also help financially. All right, let's take a look at love, knowing that love is not just how you feel about someone in a romantic relationship, but it can also include, all types of intimate relationships with friends, with family, also with yourself. Like, how are you feeling from a self-confidence point of view? Let's take a look at love and see what's coming through here. All right, your message about love is, let's take it off the top here. So we have a desert passage here. So trust that there's a divine plan. Probably not what some of you want to see, but I think that this is actually a card of strength, and that's why we have the strength card down there. So a reversal in this as well. A lot of the extended forecast is reversed, and there's a lot of reversals in general this month, which is indicative of the fact that there's a lot of shifting going on. And when I even pulled for the clarifying card, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So you're kind of starting a new cycle. And so when a cycle begins, it's not unusual for there to be a little bit of resistance to the change that's coming through for that cycle. So with a desert passage, what I'm seeing this month is not a lot of focus on meeting new people. With that being said, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do the social endeavors. It just means from a romantic perspective, because that was actually in your money sector. As far as meeting new people or deepening of an existing relationship, it looks like it's more about yourself. And that's what I was seeing in the outcome card too. So spend as much time as you need this month working on yourself, healing yourself, letting go of things that don't work. Still make an effort to get out there and be with people. But as far as like love growing and you meeting someone new, generally speaking for the sign, that's not where most of the energy is going. If you happen to meet someone this month, please spend some time, enjoy that. That doesn't mean that you can't exist within a space of love. It just means that it might be a little slower than usual. It might be harder to find people than usual. But remember, even in a desert, there's an oasis. So be hopeful for that. And this card is not saying that there's nothing. It says trust that there's a plan. So if there's some time in between, more time than usual, that you haven't either been intimate with your partner or met someone new or really been interested in dating, it's not the end of the world. It's actually just allowing you to reconfigure your energy and your time this month. Make sense? All right, let's take a look now at your outcome card, your GPS. I call it Destiny. And with the Destiny card, you have a choice here. This is really where you get to decide, am I happy with the path that I'm taking? Or do I wish that I could change something? And there's no right or wrong answer, but I'm just gonna look at the card and see if I can give a high level note and give you some options in respect to that. So for Destiny this month, your message is facing fear. And it says, major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. And again, this all makes sense why there's a lot of introspective work, not so much with interpersonal. And so this month, I think this card has to deal with the Seven of Swords in your deep past, the Devil card in the near future. And once you've sort of dealt with that shadow energy, the rest of the month is pretty good. So don't be afraid to face something that you're afraid of or something that's been holding you back. That's really your big personal choice. You're either going to sweep it under the rug and then the cycle will repeat and probably show its head at the next retrograde, or you can dissolve it, move past it, and hopefully even physically move or move on to the next thing, ascend to something better. So overall, really exciting stuff coming through for you this month. I'm going to give a quick overview of everything that we talked about, since it was a lot of information I know to take in. Your channeled message was to focus on pacing with a special emphasis on maintaining that endurance, making sure that you don't sort of burn the candle at both ends and have nothing left at the end of the month. Think of that long distance runner that has to pace herself or pace himself so that the whole race is possible. And that's what this month is for you. And as I looked at your catalyst, reminder that many of you are moving away or moving towards something. I don't see this as a place where you're going to be stagnating, so there's a lot of change coming through this month. As we turn the camera down, we'll quickly review all the cards and their placements. Again, this is a month where you want to take initiative, Queen of Wands here. It does look like many of you might be strapped with resources. It could simply be your time and energy, since strength was reversed, but for some of you it could be money. I mentioned that you don't want to test those limits too much. You want to observe the money limits. Instead, try to make some choices about where you could decide to reallocate, but don't borrow more if that's something that you were thinking about. When we were talking about sort of what to overcome, we have the Seven of Swords here in the deep past and the Devil. So anyone that is not being honest or is somehow hiding something, you want to bring it into the light. Bring the shadow into the light this month, and that's going to be key. Ten of Wands, showing that you're moving towards eventually letting go of a burden. For some of you, it's about physical move, but it's more on the horizon. It's not necessarily happening right now. Five of Wands in reverse. Again, reminding you not to let go, not to give up, but also for some of you, there might be a need for you to rest or relax a little bit more than you have been, as evidenced by this Strength card. Likewise, when it's coming to emotions, be gentle with yourself this month. There is creative energy at your disposal, but you really have to find that internal strength and hopefully face some of those shadow elements first so that you can then spend the energy on that. Again, all pacing, all choices. Towards the end of the month, it really is all about working on yourself, and I think that you're going to be able to set up this opportunity, again, by making smart choices over the course of the month. One last time, we'll look at the expanded forecast. Power of positive thought, really important for your general health, knowing that how you feel about yourself, what you think is possible, absolutely is going to be represented not only in your body, but in the environment around you. Leaning on the community for insights with respect to money and also new career opportunities. Don't be afraid to get out there, even if it's not about dating this month. It might be good for setting up future career or money opportunities. When it comes to love, when it comes to personal relationships, you might be taking space from others, but it's not permanent. There is a plan, as this card says, and it might be just a chance for you to kind of stretch a little bit and take some time off. So don't worry if you're not hearing from people as much, or if you're not feeling like you need to put as much energy there. Most of it feels like it wants to go internal, and that's okay this month. In fact, the main thing you want to focus on when we're looking at destiny is facing your fear. That's going to allow for healing. That's going to allow for the changes to unfold. And this is going to give you the sort of wings that you need in order to rise above and to soar. So overall, a really exciting month with a lot of growth potential for you. And I think that if you focus on that pacing, on the endurance, you'll have more than enough to go around. And I wish you all the best. Please keep me posted on your personal journey. If you ever want to talk about something that's going on in your life, a big life decision, some sort of a change, something that you're uncertain about, you can reach out and schedule an appointment with me, and I'm happy to be there for you. The first link will show you how to look at my rates and availability. You can see if it makes sense. As I said earlier, I am here because of your love, your support, and also the kind donations that you guys have given. So if you'd like to give back to the channel, you can follow that second link and donate on either Patreon or my website. More importantly, I'd just like to stay connected with all of you, so feel free to connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, my newsletter, of course here, and that third link will put you in touch with all of those different social media platforms. Now, for my favorite part, at the end of every video, I like to just say thank you. Not just for showing up here, but for working on yourself from month to month, from day to day. And I've been using this crystal as a symbol this month, and I think it it works pretty well here. But the main reason that I show up, and I think that you do, is so that we can get clarity on what's coming through in our life and understanding on like why things are happening. And so I want you to keep working on yourself. And each time we sort of show up here, we see a different facet of your sign, your life. You get a little bit deeper understanding of what's going on. And hopefully the net result is you start to clear and clean out your energy system so that you can be almost as clear as this. And that's the whole purpose for all of us in this wonderful human experience, is to go through, to clear karma. And just like any of these stones, actually, it takes, thousands of years for some of these, hundreds of thousands of years for them to get as clear and as clean as you see here. So that's why we reincarnate. That's why we go through all of this. Don't give up. Keep persevering. Remember, you have what it takes to make it through this month and through any challenges that come your way. Ultimately, I'm seeing some great development, financial development, and also some spiritual development that's coming through for your sign this month. So I wish you all the best, and I thank you for allowing me to be part of your spiritual journey. Wishing you love and light now and always. I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.